With all this experience, what did you see change in the fights on the field with you bringing this into play?
Well, I think one of the first things that happened is you had a lot of people who would swat sticks once or twice, and then sort of almost by mutual agreement just come together because they were both afraid of being hit at distance, so they would have both agreed to smash and close. Smash sticks, not even each other, and close, and then do bad blue belt jiu-jitsu / MMA on the ground. And so, there's a lot of fights like that at the Gathering, particularly in those years. And I think a lot of people said, oh, the Dog Brothers are this, the Dog Brothers are, no technique, I think that was just the less experienced people at a certain point in their evolution. But as time has gone by, the stick grappling game has evolved. And I fought till I was 48, but you always have this thought of, well, I'll come back and fight once or twice more, and because it was my ace up the sleeve, I've been reluctant to let it out.
And is that why it's finally coming out now?
Yeah. I had, I decided to do it, I'm too old to fight at gatherings anymore, and I had injuries. I had a double tear in my adductor here, and that set me back for quite a bit. And then I finally worked my way out of that, and I was in the best shape I had been in for years back in fall of 2013. And I was in an MMA sparring class over at the UFC gym that was being run by Krzysztof. I can't pronounce the last name, Kaczynski, something Polish with lots of consonants next to each other. He's the villain fighter, and Here Comes the Boom, the final fight. So I think he was something like 6-3 in the UFC, and the Polish Experiment, I think, was his nickname. And formidable specimen. He's doing a lot of high-level stunt work in Hollywood now. And so he was running the class, and it was mostly about getting young amateurs ready to fight. So most of the guys there were under 10 fights, and I was sparring this one guy in particular. I was working Time Machine Game, and so when he was looking to drop and come under, he's impaling himself on my bolo punch. I got him really well, and one time when he staggered, I did a hanging spin throw, head and arm throw, where you spin the leg under, and I came out on there all going, "Get down, old man!" And my age, you live for that. Yeah. And so the next round, I backed off a bit because it was about getting him ready. And there's a moment after I staggered him with the bolo. I went for double underhooks, but a little bit lazily, and so he was able to pinch his hands together, so my elbows were together like this, and he stepped through and he did a hip throw, and we landed on top of my shoulder, and that's when this ligament here snapped, level 3 shoulder separation. And so for the past 14 months, it's all been about recovering from that. And so, of course, what do you do when this is here? You start working more here. So then back in August, I pulled my hamstring, and blah, blah, blah. And so ideally, I would have liked to wait another 6 or 9 months before shooting this stuff. But, the Gong Fu Dog, he has some material that we're going to be releasing very soon. And there's other people who are, not Dog Andrus, C Dogma out of Slovenia. The two of them and Lonely Dog, they're like my kitchen cabinet for stick grappling. These, we say, well, what do you think of this? And this and that. And so it's good having them to stimulate my thinking and keep me current. Thomas is a superb black belt, and Andras is at a level where he's competing for the qualifiers for Abu Dhabi, which is also a pretty good level. And Lonely Dog is, of course, Lonely Dog. And so after this DVD, there's going to be other ones. This is the first of a whole stick grappling series from Dog Brother Martial Arts. The next one is going to be Thomas's, and Lonely Dog appears on it. Gong Fu Dog is Thomas. Maybe something from C Dogma. Boo Dog has some wonderful material for when you have guard and the other man succeeds in standing. And because of my knee injury, my hips are diminished. Over the years, the hip was dislocating continuously because the hamstring had adhered to the femur. No one knew it. My gait was off, and so this hip was always dislocating. Blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, my hips you have to have good hips for good ground, and my hips are deteriorated. And so there are things, if I'm down and the other man's up, I don't get up very gracefully anymore. Not that I did much to begin with, but it's worse now. And so it's time for me to leave room for other people to fill in other aspects of the game, but it will be me who's saying, well, I think this may not be so sound. We're not going to, I filter this one out, but wow, this is some really good stuff. Everybody, come check this out. And I think it's a really fascinating game, and it is a very good game in the ritual space, ritual combat, but it is also very good for developing awarenesses for die less often. The weaponry awareness in grappling range is so often they have grappling skills and they have weaponry skills, but but when they get in the grapple, they just assume there's no weapons because that's the way they always did it. Or even if they know there's a weapon, because their skills are grappling, you will do in the adrenal state where you've tested in the adrenal state. We see this in Die Less Often 1, where the BJJ black belt with the Tapper Nap t-shirt says, he's watching us do force on force drills against knife. And he's saying, well, can't you just do a double leg takedown? So we got the waiver and the permission to use the footage, sent him in there, and he did a beautiful double leg takedown. He got stabbed 5 times in the neck. I mean, he was so confident in his jiu-jitsu skills because he had so tested them that he wasn't able to process that when a knife is there, it's different. And so in the U.S. Open gatherings, we now allow hidden knives to be drawn, weapon access during fight, what if. And so, this game here develops just the mental mindset of keeping track of weapons and that things change. It's not just the empty hand rules need to be, some need to be dropped and some need to be modified.
That's back to mental fluidity.
Exactly. And so for the logic of DBMA, where we look for consistency across categories, just simply the stick grappling on a deep level prepares people to have the kind of mind that's scanning for weaponry concepts in the context of grappling.